Hey guys, and welcome back to another Solo Leveling Arise video. My name is DFree, and today we're going to be talking all about rerolls and the best characters to go for and how to reroll efficiently. I hope you guys enjoy. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new, as well as click that notification bell so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. If you guys want to stay more in touch with me and my content, I also created a separate channel specifically for Solo Leveling Arise content, and I'll be putting out a ton more videos on that platform as well, so you guys can stay up to date with my progress playing the game, because I plan to play this game like it's nobody's business, man. I'm going hardcore, baby. All right, so we're gonna start off with the reroll guide in the first place. So when you start off, what's gonna happen is, for the very first time when you download, and if you haven't seen my guide video on how to download the game, you can check that out. Link will be down below in the description. It'll also pop up as a clickable video on the screen. I also in that video explain how to get the actual PC client. That's what I'm using today. I'm not using like BlueStacks or anything like that. Anyway, so when you start off for the first time, it's going to have you at least complete until chapter 2, I believe. So you will have to do that, and no, there will not really be a skip button. You can skip some of the cutscenes, that's about it. However, after you've completed chapter 2, you will then unlock the gacha system, and it'll explain a couple other minor things like how to use your characters and switch your teams up, and then it'll say you've completed the general beginner tutorial, and then you'll have free reign over the game, and you'll unlock some of this other stuff. Like I still don't have some of this other stuff. You'll unlock some of this other stuff as you go. So you will then from there be able to go over to the gachas, and we'll talk about the characters in a minute, but the gachas consist of multiple things. So the gachas do have the characters and they have weapons. Now the weapons that are featured here as options to drop are specific to Jin Wu. Apparently these ones say player, where if you go to the codex and look at the other ones, they are apparently available to use on other characters as well. But this is the characters that we have for now. We have 2 original characters that Netmarble created, so there's that. Do you guys like either of these characters just in general? I like this chick. She looks pretty cool. I like her design, martial artist or whatever. She looks pretty cool. Also, Netmarble has like given all the characters super wide hips. I was looking at Juhi earlier. I was like, dang, they like completely just like made her like obviously look a little bit obvious for what they're doing there, right? So anyway, there's that, and that's how things look. So when you have gone through, did a summon, say you got what you wanted, you're gonna keep it, whatever the case is. You can from there, if you don't get what you want, go over to the settings, and then after you go to settings, you go to account settings, and then you have the option to, okay, so this is where things vary a little bit. So on the PC client, it's a little bit different, because on the PC client, there is no guest account access. So if you're doing this process on a mobile version, or if you're doing like BlueStacks, which is again still a mobile version just on your computer, this is a literal PC client, so it's a little bit different. But anyway, if you're doing on an APK version of the game or the iOS version, which is only available, by the way, if you're on iOS, it's only currently available in Thailand right now. Anyway, if you're doing on one of those, you'll have guest access. This one does not have any guest account access whatsoever. It's really strange. Anyway, so what'll happen is you will see the ability to delete the account, or no, it'll say restart the account. It's going to be a little button right here if you have a guest account. So when you first start off, if it wasn't clear, don't create an account inside it anything. Don't link it anything. Just create a guest account. And then if you get what you like, you can then from there link your guest account. But if you have a guest account, you didn't get what you like, you'll click the little button right here that will let you restart the account. All right, so first things first, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you guys request it, I will come back and do something similar where I talk more about SR characters and weapons. I am going to be breaking down mainly characters for today, but I will highlight some weapons. But I want to do a separate video for weapons because it's warranted. Because, I mean, look at this. Look at this. It makes sense, right? But Jin Wu has his own goddamn character upgrade page. What other game is doing this? Where the pro tag has their own page and everyone else is bundled together everywhere else. It makes sense, yeah, but no other game does that. Like, I can't log on a Dragon Ball game and see freaking Goku by himself, no. So anyway, Jin Wu has a really interesting scenario because multiple things happen with Jin Wu. You work on him, you level him up, you improve his stats, obviously. You also unlock and equip new skills, but Jin Wu is a character that doesn't really change much aside from his job rank changes, and then also he has costumes. He also has presets that you can put on him, so there's that. There's also varying stuff you can do with him to improve him more, like runes and stuff, but nonetheless, Jin Wu is Jin Wu, so that's cool. He's our base character. Again, there's other outfits and whatnot. In fact, I'm gonna put this one on. There we go. So the customization is there, but the point is with Jin Wu is that he has his own specific archetype in terms of this game's gacha. So when we go back to the gacha, you'll see that we have characters and we also have the weapons. Like I mentioned earlier, All the weapons pretty much are for Jin Wu. He's got the best weapons. However, they're not the only weapons. The characters themselves, the other hunters that are there, also have access to a bunch of weapons too. So I am going to have to break it down and talk more about weapons a little bit separately, like I said. So let's open the codex here. And as you see, a bunch of this stuff is here. So the top row is all Jin Wu specific. And then these other ones have Hunter labeled under them, so they can be used on the other characters. In fact, some of them are going to have dedicated bonuses for specific characters. Like this one right here is for one of the original characters, Jin Wu, so you would want to have this on her. Now, there is not a source button, so I'd have to look at the actual gacha rates to see if that item is specifically in the gachas or whatnot. But let's go ahead and talk about Hunters. All right, so while it's cliche to say, I've absolutely got to just say it, but summon for the characters you want. These are the characters that are currently live in the game right now. Summon for who you want. The characters that are going to make you play the game and enjoy the game the most. That is all that matters. The characters that are going to give you the most enjoyment. Also, as a side note, if you're going to get the most enjoyment out of using Jin Wu specifically, summon for the weapon that would make you play the most. Same type of deal. We're going to talk about these weapons as well. We're going to talk about the hunters as well. But just again, I just wanted to say that again, cliche, I know, but I gotta say it because some people are gonna feel pressured into just only going for whatever is the best stuff. All right, let's talk about characters. So characters is kind of interesting. We have the characters here broken down through different types. As you see, some of them are tanks, some of them are ranged characters or mages. Actually, we have actual ranged characters here. Some of them ranged characters, tanks, attackers, mages, and then there's supports in here like Min Byung-gu here. So we do have a ton of different stuff. So again, once again, depending on what you're looking for, then obviously different reasons to summon for different characters. But speaking generally, the best support in the game is Min Byung-gu. Is he like, he's like probably low-key like one of the best supports in the entire series. Like probably so. Anyways, other than that though, the best tank is going to be, in my opinion, Bake. I never knew how to pronounce this guy's name. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not gonna try him. Oh my god, his transformation, all that stuff, he is so unbelievably tanky, and he does a crap ton of damage as well. This guy is awesome, man. Damage 1000% of the user's defense, cooldown is 20 seconds, things like that. He is an awesome wall. I think that if you pull him, you should be all in for it. Now, unfortunately, Choi here is on the other banner by himself. He's not able to be rated up like with an increased chance on that other gacha, but he's the best range attacker in my opinion in the game right now. So there's that. And then outside of that, this guy, I don't remember him actually from the series either personally. But anyway, he is the best ranged attacker in the game right now as well. Now, I mean, he's like the only one. That's an SSR, so that's not the craziest thing. But at least with some of like the tanks, there's 4 of them. Like there's literally a lot of tank competition. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. In fact, both of the original characters wound up being tanks. Now, they're both pretty good for their own reasons, unless you're just looking for like waifu stuff, you know? You probably are better off just going for, like I said, Yunho. He's probably the best one overall. Now, Huang Dongsu. So Dongsu's pretty cool. Actually, he looks pretty awesome in the game. He's pretty cool. He's an attacker, but he's a little bit of an all-arounder, if you will. He does a little bit of everything in terms of stats. So we see here, right here, it's 723% of the user's defense, deals wind damage. Then his basics, 1880 of the user's defense right there. He's also doing airborne. He does knockdowns. He does also, it removes target shields. So he's a very strong offensive character that I would focus on too if you're looking for one of those. I didn't really talk about who the best flat out attacker is in the game, but it's probably him, and I don't know that it's close because again, not a lot of competition here. I didn't really mention Wu because you can actually get Wu from just flat out logging in, so we will all get Wu eventually. He's pretty solid though, not anything crazy. I wouldn't worry too much about him, but he's pretty solid personally. I like him a lot. So outside of that though, that's pretty much it. So if I were to say who I would go for, it's going to be some combination of those characters. If you're looking for a tank, it's going to be Yunho. In my opinion, he's the best tank. These characters are cool. The original characters are cool, but they're not the craziest. And also, I want to say too, it also depends which of these characters is like weapons you get, because I'm not going over these, but these characters, like here's Yunho's weapon as well. These characters do have designated stuff that they want to have too. So anyway, he's the best tank in my opinion in the game. And outside of that, the best attacker or fighter character is going to be Dongsu. Again, not really much competition there, but we're going to go ahead and look at the best mage, and that's going to be Choi Jung-in, and it's not really close. It's just an insane DPS, personally. It's unfortunate with him, though, because like I said, he is on the other gacha. The characters are on that gacha with him, but you can't do the rate up thing, so it's just kind of tricky to try to pull there. Although I do need to confirm the rates. The best, by the way, it's not listed here, but the only assassin, or the best assassin that I've seen, is Jin Wu. But I don't really need to mention him because you start off with Jin Wu. But the problem is with Jin Wu is that if you want to have a really strong Jin Wu, then you are looking for those weapons that we talked about earlier. So that's kind of Jin Wu's thing. So he's like, yeah, the characters have one weapon that they're going to look for, and they're going to add more weapons for these characters later on in the future, blah, blah, blah. But Jin Wu's got a lot of variety, which is a good and bad thing, by the way. In terms of rangers, right, the best ranged character, Lim here, and it's not close. And then last but not least, healer, support is going to wind up being our boy Min Byung-gu. And I would actually, ironically, if I were to rank these characters, I would probably go, what I would do, this is going to be my objective probably. It's going to be to get a tank. I already talked about who the tanks are. Although I could probably make do with an SR tank, but I would probably want to go for Yunho. And then get, which is kind of funny because they're friendship. And then get Min here. And then for the last thing, I would just use Jin Wu. Now, the problem is also is that in certain content, you can't use Jin Wu, but that's what I would be going for. I think the support and stuff like that, the healing, would be really, really strong with this setup. So that's what I would be going for. I'd be going for him, and then a weapon for Jin Wu. In terms of which weapon, since I have a strong defensive character on my team, I don't know that I need, oh my god, the summons. I don't know that I need some of the other ones. I might mess around and go for the Demi King Longsword, though. That's probably the one I would go for, either that or the Grimoire. But you could also get kind of spicy with the Shadow Scythe. So let me know what you're gonna do. I think the most important thing is that there is a lot of options for you to choose from, right? And then with Jin Wu as well, like I mentioned, there's 120 different runes, so you can really pick what you like. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in Solo Leveling Arise.